This is the second in the devotional on the days of discontent. And the title of this one is To Forget is to Fear. We're moving on to the book and story of Joshua on our path toward contentment in this discontented world. Joshua sent spies into the promised land, and he's now been told of the giants that are in the land in Joshua 7:7. And Joshua says to God, "Why did you ever bring us across the Jordan to deliver us in the hands of the enemy to destroy us? If only we'd been content to stay on the other side of the river. Pardon your servant, Lord. What can I say now that Israel has been routed by its enemies? The Canaanites and the other people will hear about this and surround us and wipe out our name from the earth. And what then will you do for your great name?" So remember how the children of Israel wandered and complained constantly? Now that they're on the brink of the promised land, there are great giants before them, and Joshua, their leader, wishes that people had just been content to stay in the wilderness instead of complaining. And yet they complained constantly. God forgave and continued to lead them, and here they stand on the brink of crossing into the promised land to take it to be theirs. But there are giants that await them. So Joshua is like, "Excuse me, God, are you aware of this situation? This must not be the right path, because these huge giants are going to wipe us off the earth, and then where will your great name be?" What a twist on a story about discontentment. Let's paraphrase this leader's assessment of the situation. He could have been saying, "God, I know we were discontented when we were thirsty and hungry and wandering in the desert. But if we had been content in that wandering, we wouldn't be standing here looking at an impossible situation again. And this is really it, God. This is the end of us." Have you ever been in that situation? You thought things were bad, but then you're facing an impossible situation for some reason, and the enemy seems too big. Was Joshua's memory failing him, and is our memory failing us? Herein lies another part of discontentment, forgetting to remind ourselves of his faithfulness in our lives. Just before Christmas, a friend told me that her pastor asked the congregation if anyone had a tambourine in their purse or in their pocket, and of course no one did. And he reminded them of Miriam and the women that danced when they were after they crossed the Red Sea, and he noticed something that was very interesting. These ladies came out of the wilderness up on the brink of the Red Sea, being pursued by enemies, expecting to have a reason to play and dance because they had their tambourines with them. So this sermon was saying, what are you expecting? Are you expecting to celebrate or expecting to drown? If we don't remind ourselves and each other of the goodness of God along the way and take note of it and shake a tambourine and keep that musical instrument ready, so to speak, we too will sit when giants are before us and tremble in defeat. I went and bought a tambourine and hung it on our tree. It was an ornament, and I had reason to shake it within a week due to a huge answered prayer in our family. So maybe Joshua should have called the people and asked if anyone had a tambourine or could recall the past victories or something, but not wish that they'd been content to stay back where they were in the wilderness. Think on this. Look your enemies in the face and march on, because he was faithful then and he will be faithful now. And we do not have to be content to wander in the desert, but rather expectant to cross over into the promised land.